with the recovery residences.
Sure. Okay. World, if you will, of recovery is something that I've learned a lot about recently. Obviously, I'm an elected official, and I represent the entire ward, really the entire city. And I'm not of the mindset with any issue, especially recovery, to just kind of take a hands-off approach. Specifically about the law that I did sponsor, that it draws on a study that was done in Delray Beach.
Yeah.
And, sure.
You stop there.
No problem.
I know Delray Beach. A lot of them have no standards, no regulation whatsoever, and they're just free for all. It's a different ballgame here. It's like a study that I would refer you to kind of look into, because there's a reason that these are modeled in such a close quarters. Are you familiar with the rat park study?
The which one?
Rat park.
Not offhand.
They did a study where they would put a rat in a cage by himself. They would put one drug water bottle and then one regular water bottle. 100% of the time, the rats drank the opiate or drug water until they were dead. So what they did after that was they made a big park. They put a bunch of cool rat stuff in there, tunnels, toys, cheese, other girl rats so they could have sex, and the same 2 water bottles. 100% of the rats survived. They barely ever touched the drug water. It's the stigma of the addict, that the shame keeps us out there. So when we're, for lack of a better word, segregated, it kind of adds to that stigma and that shame, of, we're not good enough, we don't belong in society. 40% as of 2017 of American adults are addicted to illicit substances. I feel like it's worth looking deeper into maybe, because if you're gonna, where are you gonna put us, on the west side? A lot of those houses are just gonna remain vacant anyway. They're members of the community, everybody gets better, you spend money. They don't know how to save money. They just go, they get their stuff back together and they want to buy everything. They really put into the community, and we wouldn't even know. I run into 20 a day in every business that I go to. I don't know what purpose that particular law is actually serving. I know that it's making the neighbors feel good.
Well, let me jump in. I wouldn't want to be associated with people who may have said things like, for example, we don't want this in the neighborhood at all. And just to throw that out, this is not a NIMBY approach. It's not a NIMBY effort, not my backyard effort. Part of the rationale behind this buffer zone law, I agree with you, we shouldn't be saying, well, we're going to put people here, we're going to put people there. The rationality and why I like the why I like the Delray Beach model, that study in particular shows that when you concentrate the homes closer than 660 linear feet from one another, the success rate diminishes. And the whole purpose of it
study doesn't jive with me. I don't understand who did that study. I couldn't find it.
I'll share the study because we know that people may not put a sign up that say these kind of homes aren't welcome, but they do things, and there's reasons why these types of homes aren't in certain communities, and I think that that's completely wrong. People cannot be discriminated against who are either operating treatment or who are in treatment or classified as persons with disabilities per the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Fair Housing Act.
That's what I was going to bring up. Fair housing.
Absolutely, and they cannot be discriminated. They say, well, I don't like the way these people look, they can't be here. That's garbage. There's no place for that in society.
Sure, in a sense, that's kind of what that whole meeting was.
Which meeting? Sorry.
In the video online about the housing with the neighbors, with the neighborhood.
Not
on your end. I'm not saying on your end. I'm saying, the law kind of reinforces that belief system, though. Now.
No, I don't think so. Because and I'll tell you why. If you look at other types of services, I'll give you the needle exchange, for example, right? The needle exchange is something that is needed in many communities, and yet the only place where you find this, thanks to public policy, right, is Atlantic City.
And I'm not talking street junkies. I'm talking Betty Crocker, who starts the prescription painkillers 10 years ago and is now strung out in the street. Those are the people in these houses as well.
Make it personal, right? And I have children. And
that's what I was going to ask you.
Well, if I'm reading your mind, that's twice.
You're good at these kind of things.
I appreciate it. It would be tough for me to kind of wear a public policy hat. I would just be diving in and be like, hey, what do I do to help? What is it cost? The cost would not be a concern. We'd mortgage the house. Literally, whatever it would take in order to save them or to give them the tools that they need. Because ultimately, it's a situation like I don't even like thinking about that much.
Sure.
Is to reintegrate into a quote unquote normal neighborhood. I mean, there's no such thing as a normal neighborhood. You know, everybody lives anywhere.
Especially not around here.
There's not enough realization, in my opinion, that you can do too much. And that you can really bring it to a point where you overwhelm and overdo a space or an area, and it's done all in the guise of help. And again, not
maybe not the guys, maybe just false expectations.
Okay, fair. And I would take the word swap on that one. But it's something that the situation itself, ultimately, right, like doesn't give somebody the best shot at recovery. I'd love to dialogue with you. And
yeah, I would love that
become
too.
Because you're not one of the people that I reached out to when I was trying to get a feel for policy about this, and that was probably a mistake. Like I'd like to, obviously you're very passionate about it, you're knowledgeable, you have a great experience to share, and I mean that in a sincere way. I'd love to talk to you about this.
If it's 40% of the adult population as of 2017, it's probably 60 now. You know, that was the stat just released from 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, it's a pandemic. I don't know anybody who hasn't been affected by drug addiction in some way, shape, or form.
I apologize on that note, but I do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate your time so much. I am going to continue. So I spoke to Councilman Jesse Kurtz, as you're aware, and made a claim that's kind of wild to me about how too many of them in too close quarters leads to a lesser success rate. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on that?
So I don't really think that plays so much a part as what is the supervision of the house.
What would you say to neighbors that have complaints about, you know, having people in the neighborhood?
We always provide the neighborhood neighbors with phone numbers that they can call, that they can, when they have complaints, that we can address those complaints immediately, make sure that we respect the neighborhood and keep the noise down. So there definitely should be a contact person. We've had people that were our biggest complaints actually live in our houses. You know, eventually, you never know when this disease.
The complaining neighbors.
Yeah, the complaining neighbors actually were the ones that had to live in the house and save their life. So you never know what part of your family member this is going to affect, or your friends. You never know when you're going to need it, but this disease affects everyone. Yeah, so I don't even know that any of the recovery houses are affected by the 660-foot law, because that says that it pertains to community residences, which would be a licensed community residence for the developmentally disabled through the state of New Jersey. So I think that he was misrepresentative in talking about Oxford House or sober living houses, because they don't fall under that category.
Moving forward, what kind of regulations would you be willing to abide?
Well, I mean, we have a bill that we've introduced that would really improve the standards of the recovery housing throughout the state of New Jersey. It would make sure that all recovery houses have to get certified by the National Alliance of Recovery Residences under that set of standards. There's a set of policies and procedures that are followed in every house.
And you've been working on this bill how long?
Probably about 4 years now. I just want people to know that, you know, the Hansen Foundation in particular is really just trying to help the recovering addict. We know that this works. We know that when we can put addicts together in a supportive environment that is structured sober living, that we see people recover long-term, turn back into productive members of the society. You know, I've never seen anything else work better. We've been doing this for a long time, sure, and we've saved a lot of lives, and it touches so many families. So many people are dying that we need to put everything towards this that we have, you know, and we need the community to support it. We need not to be shunned from these communities, but figure out how that we can be accepted and be an asset. You know, we want to be an asset. We want the people whose lives change to be an asset in these communities, and you know, that's what we're trying to do. So